To Dr. Ricardo G. Herado, good day, sir. To our classmates, good day also. Together with Mom Chanel S. Sumande, I am Jaren C. Sase, will present to you our topic about the Republic Act 10533. So here are the implementing rules and regulations of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds, therefore, and for other purposes, otherwise known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, which is approved on May 15, 2013, and which took effect on June 8, 2013. The Department of Education, the Commission on Higher Education, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority hereby issue the following rules and regulations to implement the provisions of the Act. Here are general provisions. These rules and regulations shall be referred to as the implementing rules and regulations of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. Its scope and application shall primarily apply to all public and private basic educational institutions and learning centers. This also applies to higher education institutions, technical vocational institutions, duly recognized organizations acting as teacher education institutions and foundations. The declaration of policy shall be interpreted in light of the declaration of policy found in Section 2 of the Act. Here are the definition of terms. A. Act. This referred to Republic Act No. 10533, also known as Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. For letter B, its learning center refers to a physical space to house learning resources and facilities of a learning program for out-of-school youth and adults. It is a venue for face-to-face learning activities and other learning opportunities for community development and improvement of the people's quality of life. This may also be referred to as Community Learning Center, authorized or recognized by the DepEd. C. Learner refers to a pupil or student or to a learner in the alternative learning system. Mother tongue or first language refers to the language or languages first learned by a child, which he or she identifies with, is identified as a native language user or by others, which he or she knows best or uses most. This includes Filipino Sign Language used by individuals with pertinent disabilities. The regional or native language refers to the traditional speech variety or variety of Filipino Sign Language existing in a region, area, or place. E. Non-DepEd public school refers to a public school offering basic education operated by an agency of the national government other than the DepEd or by a local government unit. Basic education. Pursuant to Section 3 of the Act, basic education is intended to meet basic learning needs which provides the foundation on which subsequent learning can be based. It encompasses kindergarten, elementary, and secondary education, as well as alternative learning systems for out-of-school learners and those with special needs under Section 8 of this IRR. Enhanced Basic Education Program encompasses at least 1 year of kindergarten education, 6 years of elementary education, and 6 years of secondary education in that sequence. Secondary education includes 4 years of junior high school and 2 years of senior high school education. The Enhanced Basic Education Program may likewise be delivered through the alternative learning system. The DepEd may allow private educational institutions flexibility in adopting the program provided that they comply with the DepEd prescribed minimum standards consistent with the Act. Section 7. Compulsory Basic Education. It shall be compulsory for every parent or guardian or other persons having custody of a child to enroll such child in basic education, irrespective of learning delivery modes and systems, until its completion as provided for by existing laws, rules, and regulations. On Section 8, inclusiveness of enhanced basic education shall mean the implementation of programs designed to address the physical, intellectual, psychosocial, and cultural needs of learners, which shall include but shall not be limited to the following: 1. Programs for the gifted and talented. 2. Programs for learners with disabilities. 3. Madrasa program. 4. Indigenous Peoples Education Program. 5. Programs for learners under difficult circumstances. Acceleration of learners in public and private basic educational institutions shall be allowed, consistent with the DepEd rules and regulations. Next is on curriculum. So basic education curriculum development, DepEd shall be guided by the following: formulation and design. Pursuant to Section 5 of the Act, the DepEd shall formulate the design and details of the enhanced basic education curriculum. The DepEd shall work with the CHED and TESDA to craft harmonized basic, tertiary, and technical vocational education curricula for Filipino graduates to be locally and globally competitive. Here are the standards and principles. The DepEd shall adhere to the following standards and principles when appropriate in developing the enhanced basic education curriculum. A. The curriculum shall be learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. B. The curriculum shall be relevant, responsive, and research-based. C. The curriculum shall be gender and culture sensitive. D. The curriculum shall be contextualized and global. E. The curriculum shall use pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. F. The curriculum shall adhere to the principles and framework of mother tongue-based multilingual education, which starts from where the learners are and from what they already know, proceeding from the known to the unknown. Instructional materials and capable teachers to implement the MTB-MLE curriculum shall be available. For this purpose, MTB-MLE refers to formal or non-formal education in which the learner's mother tongue and additional languages are used in the classroom. G. The curriculum shall use a spiral progression approach to ensure mastery of knowledge and skills after each level, and the curriculum shall be flexible enough to enable and allow schools to socialize, indigenize, and enhance the same based on the respective educational and social context. On production and development of materials. The production and development of locally produced teaching and learning materials shall be encouraged. The approval of these materials shall be devolved to the Regional and Division Education Unit in accordance with national policies and standards. On medium of teaching and learning, basic education shall be delivered in languages understood by the learners, as language plays a strategic role in shaping the formative years of learners. To achieve an enhanced and responsive basic education curriculum, the DepEd shall undertake consultations with other national government agencies and other stakeholders, including but not limited to the Department of Labor and Employment, the Professional Regulation Commission, private and public schools associations, national student organizations, national teacher organizations, parents-teachers associations, chambers of commerce, and other industry associations on matters affecting the concerned stakeholders. Pursuant to Section 6 of the Act, a curriculum consultative committee shall be created, to be chaired by the DepEd Secretary or his or her duly authorized representative, and with members composed of, but not limited to, a representative each from the CHED, TESDA, DOLE, PRC, the Department of Science and Technology, and a representative from business chambers such as the Information Technology, Business Process Outsourcing, Industry Association. The consultative committee shall oversee the review and evaluation of the implementation of the enhanced basic education curriculum, and may recommend to the DepEd the formulation of necessary refinements in the curriculum.